Hi, and welcome to Family on Purpose. I'm Derek. She's Gina. We're your hosts to help you live your family out on purpose. Whatever you do, we want you to do it on purpose. So thanks for joining us today. We have an exciting topic. It is the importance of family meals. The power of family meals. Babe, hit us with the hot topic. What do you think about it?
Okay, I'm going to start us off with some statistics.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, statistics show that families that have at least 3 to 4 meals together per week, there are significant benefits to this. Okay, the rates of alcohol and tobacco use decrease.
Okay.
It lowers eating disorders.
Okay.
It reduces suicide risk and lowers depression.
Okay.
Lowers stress. It increases academic performance. And it also increases self-esteem.
Interesting.
So why not make it a priority to have family meals together? I mean, this is 3 to 4 meals together per week. I think we can do this.
I think we can do it. I was looking up statistics too. From everything I found, about 40% of families in the United States have at least one meal together at home per week. That seems like not very many.
I agree. Out of
40% of homes have at least one meal a week. So that's 21 meals.
exactly what I was calculating.
1 out of 21, and 40% of them have a meal at home.
I think we can do better than that.
I think we can do better than that. I think you can do better than that.
For sure.
Okay, why do we need to do better than that?
Because family meals are important.
Okay.
They just are.
Tell me
We
why.
get our sense of belonging there.
Okay.
It's good for company.
Okay.
Aside from all of these stats that I read, you know, the Bible is full of times of eating together, right? Jesus broke bread with his disciples. He attended many meals and feasts. I mean, food is throughout the whole Bible. And I think it's about fellowship
Okay.
and community,
Okay.
company.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a time where the family can come together, center themselves, pour into one another. I think there's so much opportunity around a table.
Okay. I think so too. I agree with everything you just said. And as I was doing my research and thought and praying through this, I was reminded of all the different feasts that the Jewish people had. So there was Feast of Weeks, Feast of the Tabernacle, there was Feast of the New Year, Feast of the Harvest, and on and on and on and on, right? And I think normal in a Jewish family's rhythm is the Shabbat meal going into Sabbath. And so I think as we look at biblical times, it is obvious that meals and feasts are a great time, like you said, to remember and focus and connect. So how do we deal with that today? Because I don't think that we have to become Jewish and follow all the Jewish festivals and feasts and all of that stuff. So what do we do with all of that? Okay, if I look at that and I say, okay, God created his family, and one of the values he had for his family was time around a meal table. What do we do with that?
I think we see the value in it that God shows, and then we ourselves value it. We prioritize it. We look at our schedules and say, hey, tonight is family meal night.
Yeah, right.
And get as many of those on our calendar as we can and get as creative as possible with it.
Tell me more. Why? Give me why, and help me to understand what does creative mean.
Okay.
And why do you think we, as people, the general American population, don't do a lot of meals together?
I think the general American population do not have a lot of meals together because of busyness.
Yeah.
I think that you have multiple children. They're doing different sports, different activities. One parent is here with a kid or two. Another parent is here with a kid or two.
Yeah.
And I think we're absolutely spread out and spread thin, and the schedule's conflict. And so when I use the word get creative about it, or the phrase get creative about it, I mean, hey, we have kids in sports. There are times where we've said, you know what, at 4:00, we're going to have dinner together. We might have a bedtime snack because we're eating so early, but mealtime does not have to be dinner, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It could be, hey, Dad, I need to get one of our kids to a practice field on your way home from work. Can you meet us out someplace near the field? I'm going to bring all the kids. Let's get together.
Yeah.
I also think we have to be creative in the fact of it's a meal. It doesn't say dinner. So is it you're having breakfast together or lunch together?
We do that often. I mean, we eat breakfast. I have the pleasure of working out of the house. And so we eat a lot of breakfast together.
Yeah.
And I think that is a great way. What I've loved about breakfast together is it's a great way to start the day, look forward to the day. Hey, how can I pray for you today? Yeah. How can we do this? So don't overlook a good breakfast.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and that can be your main, your largest meal of the day. You can make a good, if you're able to, hey, get up, make some pancakes, make some biscuits, whatever that is. Like,
and I don't mean necessarily even the food. Like you make a great point.
I agree.
I just mean, like, I know schools here in Oklahoma City, I think it's Wednesdays. The kids don't actually have to be to school till 9:30.
Oh, wow.
And so, hey, if you're a parent and school doesn't start till 9:30, I have a buddy of mine, and on Wednesdays, he takes his daughter out to go one-on-one a meal together. They go pick up breakfast, and then he goes and drops her off at school. At least he used to a year ago. I hope he still does. Yeah. Like, be intentional with the gaps or the lulls in time, not just, okay, great. Hey, we can all relax and take it easier around the house. You guys make yourself a bowl of cereal. I'm going to work on this other project.
Right.
I don't have to rush to get you out of the house. It is intentionally winning in the small gaps of opportunity that we have.
Right. Coming together for connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. A connection opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. So you gave us a good long list of statistics. You gave us a list of things that you think are great for meals. Tell me more about that. You said morals, behaviors. What did you say were gained at mealtime? Unofficially, not statistically, but unofficially.
Okay. Belonging.
Belonging. That's the word.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, because when you have that undivided, where you're here together, I have your undivided attention. We can make people feel valued. We're having eye contact. I think some boundaries and just kind of safeguards for mealtime. Hey, we're not going to have devices at the dinner table. Setting aside our cell phones or turning off the TV or whatever those things are. Maybe it's off-limit conversations, right? Hey, we know that this conversation is usually a tension-producing subject. Let's not talk about that subject, but pour into that person, how was your day? And I think ask beyond how was your day? Because that question is often met with a one-word answer, right? How was your day?
Fine.
It
was fine.
It's fine. It's good. Well, tell me, what about it was good?
There you go. That's the key, right? That's the question. We were talking about that at our table, I don't know, last week. Hey, what's the magic question? It's why.
Right.
Or the follow-up question, why? Hey, what'd you like about that movie? Or, hey, what'd you think of the movie?
Yeah.
Often our kids will go, it was good. Yeah. Okay. What did you think was good about it?
That's right. Yep. Go beyond the general, the basic, how was your day? Or I grew up, what'd you learn at school today?
Nothing
at all. So,
tell me more. Why no devices? Why no phones? You gave us a list of, hey, here's some great best practices about meal times. Tell me why.
When our devices are near us, they are a distraction, and they can send a message that I value whatever came across my phone more than I value what you were just saying or having this time with you. I think that it sends a message of priority. And so put the phone aside because you're showing your family, I'm here and you are the most important thing right now.
It's good. That was I heard a pastor say that same thing, right? Like, hey, our priorities typically go God, spouse, family. But whenever we're engaged in face-to-face, I think he was talking about it in relation to a date with your wife.
Okay.
Or your quiet time with God. But it was, hey, typically our priorities are God, spouse, and family. But when we answer a phone call or a text message or even a news alert or an ESPN notification in the middle of that, they jump right up through the whole line. They skip the line and go right into number one priority.
Right.
And you're looking at it. The other thing you made me think of was the movie Mitchells versus the Machines. Cartoon movie on Netflix. I laughed out loud several times during it. But in one of them, the dad was trying to get them to connect over the dinner table. And he said, okay, let's put all of our devices away and have, I think he said 15 seconds of uninterrupted eye contact. And you could see it, like their eyes were bugging out and they could hardly do it. Mm-hmm. It's a lost practice. Mm-hmm. It's a lost art to connect over the table.
You're right. You're right. And sometimes that is a challenge to connect. We may feel like, what do we want to talk about? Or sometimes it can feel like pulling teeth to get others to converse. Some things that I would suggest for that, if that's your obstacle of, I don't even know what to talk about, there's all manner of conversation starters that are free online.
Those are great.
We even have a board game called Hot Topics.
Yeah.
And they're silly questions.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
And why?
Meat between bread. But even just asking a silly question like that opens up conversation and it gets people started talking. And I like the idea of conversation starters because we don't have to pull teeth. Hey, okay, here's a game. We're going to play a game at the table. It doesn't have to be like we're sitting here and trying to be all prim and proper. If you need to bring a deck of cards to the table or a board game to get your family interacting, go for that. Have it be a fun time of connection.
Yeah, I agree. I think first, I believe that we have a spiritual enemy that wants to isolate us, and one of the greatest and most impactful places that he can isolate us from is our family. Mm-hmm. And so the world tells us that individualism is of the utmost priority. Hey, be who you are and just you, and you don't need anybody else. Mm-hmm. But the truth is our spirits crave connection and community while the world is saying something opposite. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a microcosm here at the dinner table. I say here because this is our actual dinner table. At the dinner table is like a small snapshot of that. Mm-hmm. Hey, individualism versus connection. Yeah. And you're talking about conversations. I want to encourage everybody listening that everybody in your family is interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're all interesting. Mm-hmm. And so if we dig and dig and dig and continue to lean into conversation, we won't be bored.
Right.
Hey, what are you thinking about?
Right.
What got you excited today? What are you passionate about? Where did you win today? Like, these are great conversations to dig deeper into somebody, and they're fascinating. God doesn't create boring people. Mm-hmm. He doesn't create unfascinating people.
Right, right.
And those fascinating and exciting people are inside your family. They're inside ours.
Right.
And conversations flow, and they're inside yours. Don't be afraid, even if it's uncomfortable, to lean into that.
Yep, that's right. I think something you said about, your family members are interesting. Sometimes we have different interests, right? And so I'm trying to think, okay, so our son plays a video game. I have tried to play it a handful of times, only I get absolutely nauseated doing it because it's like you're the person in there and I cannot figure out the buttons to where I'm like spinning around 25 times and get disoriented. And so while I don't know a lot about this game, I can pray, God, would you give me understanding about this? Give me an interest for this so that Jack, I can connect with him on this level. And so pray about it. If they're into, I don't know, sci-fi things, whatever it is that music, whatever it is that you're not interested in, ask the Lord to teach you about it and to give you a heart that will be interested so that you can connect with your child or your spouse or whatever,
The Bible says, out of an overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Right.
And so if we can get our family members to speak, then we can get a glimpse of their heart.
Good.
And hey, let's go back to the beginning of this conversation. You might not be interested in Jack's video game, but what is the great question you can ask him, and you do, about that? Hey, what's interesting about the video game to you, Jack?
Right.
What do you like about it?
Right. And I am.
You do a great job.
And
I'm
I
just
am
encouraging
interested.
others.
At first, it was hard for me to understand, but now I'm very interested in it and support him in the things that he does through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, ask questions. Ask questions, because when you ask questions, you gain further understanding.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. I know we touched on conversation starters, and something that I know is a very common question at dinner tables with families and kids is like, what was your high of the day?
Yeah.
What was your low of the day? And so you can start with just a simple question like that. A new term I heard was your glow or your grow.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just heard that one. Yeah, through the kids.
I heard rose and thorn.
I was going to say that's another one. Yeah. What is so grow and glow was what was the highlight? Your glow, and then grow. Like, hey, what's an area that you grew in today, or that you could improve on? And I thought that was some good thinking. But yeah, do you want to talk about the flower?
No, I don't know much about it. He just brought it up. A guy did. But my buddy Chris Hart, he has high, low, and buffalo.
Oh.
Buffalo is just something totally random.
I like that.
Like, what are you thinking about that's totally random? You know? Hey, are butterflies bugs? You know, like just that kind of stuff. Doesn't have to be high or low.
That's fun.
But again, out of an overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And if you can orchestrate meal times together, you get the opportunity to see a glimpse of your family's heart by these great conversations.
That's good.
Conversation starters.
That's good. I love that. I was trying to think of things that I asked the kiddos or us at the dinner table. And one question that I asked last week was, what in this last, maybe it was like Friday night, we had a whole week ahead of us, or behind us actually. What is something in your week that has inspired or encouraged you in the Lord? Whether that was something that we've read in the Bible, a reel that we saw, a podcast, or anything like that. And I was very encouraged by the answers of like, there's so many ways to see God in your day to day. And that's a common question for like, how have you seen God in your day?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's something we commonly ask, but like, hey, what have you seen or heard that inspired you or encouraged you in the Lord? Because, like Deuteronomy and the Shema, Deuteronomy 6, we are to talk about God.
That's right.
When you're coming, when you're going, when you rise, when you lie down, all of these things. And so around that table, like that's opportunity to talk about the Lord or share how you've seen God in your own day.
Absolutely. And you never know if the environment is set, what type of a spiritual conversation might come through. You have to give it the opportunity, because if everybody's too busy and running different directions, you'll never do it. A great question is, hey, what would be a win for you today? Like what's one thing you can do today to win the day?
Yep.
It's a great conversation. Hey, let's set the goal at breakfast. I'm still thinking breakfast. Let's set the goals for the day. Let's set the focus for the day. What would be a win for you today? If you could only accomplish one thing today, what would it be?
Okay. That's great.
That focuses our brains walking through the rest of the day. And it can happen at the meal.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. Meals are important. So many things can happen around a table, like our traditions.
Traditions are great.
I think about holiday meals, birthday meals, and just the significance of setting aside time to honor those special times.
That's right.
Of the year.
That's right.
It's so important.
Okay, so why we are Family on Purpose podcast? Why, or how, I guess would be a better question. How can family meals help or assist families to live on purpose? What do you think?
Okay, that's a great question. And as you know, we're never scripted, so I never know what's going to come out of his mouth to ask me. Why is it important? What is your question?
How can family meals help families live on purpose or be a family on purpose?
Okay. Well, you can, purpose to eat together, purpose to prioritize being together.
Okay.
You can be purposeful in conversation.
Okay.
Purposeful in connection.
Okay.
What's your answer to this great question?
I was hoping you'd have a good. I'm kidding. I think you said belonging at the beginning, which is so important.
Yeah.
Because creating an environment where everybody in the family belongs or feels like they belong, and that's a win. Yeah. That's doing stuff on purpose. Family meals do that. I think it is relationship. I think it is connection, all the same things as you. I think it is a great place to learn and show honor and respect. It's a great teaching. It's a great encouragement place. I think the family dinner table or lunch table, meal table, I guess you'd say, is an incredible environment for just the life lessons. I'll tell you a story real quick. It's from a pastor. Somebody in his church was a successful attorney, but he grew up in a home that was destructive and unhealthy. And his uncle actually lived with him. And when he was 13, his uncle and him voluntarily put him into like protective care, DHS, whatever the state system is. And so he got put in a foster home. And he walked in, and the first time he went in and sat down at that foster home, and they had a meal at a table together. And that was the first time in his life, and he was 13 years old, that he ever had a meal together as a family at the table. Wow. And he said it was at that point that his whole paradigm shifted. He said, just to experience it and know that it could be done, let him know that he could do it. And so he grew up just with that simple belief, and it helped him to get through law school. And he became an attorney, and he's successful in the area and all of that stuff because of one family meal at the table.
That's incredible. That really is incredible. Because I don't think that I think of like one meal is going to change a person's life, but that's not giving a meal enough credit.
I think so too. And I wonder if he remembers what he ate or if it was just people around the table giving of themselves to everybody else.
It's really good.
I don't know.
Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, you're welcome. I didn't plan on it, but there it is. Unscripted.
Well, I'm glad you did.
It's funny. You talk about value mealtime. One of our family core values is being radically protective of quality time. And it isn't until right this moment that I think I recognize you especially consider meals quality time.
Yep, I do.
Like that falls into the quality time bucket.
Yeah. And that's why I think I'm like, we're eating at 4:00. Dinner's at 4:00 today.
Oh, we've done it plenty of time. Jack has practice early, so.
And it sounds crazy because I'll have like a friend call or text and she's like, what are you doing? And it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm like, I'm cooking dinner. But I'll do anything to get in those nuggets of time with you guys. And I was thinking about the environment that we create at the dinner table, because it would be easy if it was like a point of contention and, hey, we have arguments at the dinner table or whatever. I think people would drag their feet to get to the meal versus like, okay, this is a place of peace. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that we have to agree on everything. You know, like sometimes we'll break down a book or something and what do you think that character was thinking? Or what about this storyline or whatever? And sometimes we have a difference of opinion, but it is all welcomed and it is all a learning experience. And so how can you create a place at your table that there is belonging and it's a safe place and there's peace there?
That's good encouragement. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, set aside time and make family meals a priority. And like you said earlier, set some guardrails. Yeah. If that's devices, if that's conversations, if that's, I don't know, time limits, whatever it is, create some guardrails so that you can create an environment where people can win.
Yep. Sure.
You talked about conversations at meals. Do you remember what our conversation was at breakfast today?
No. But it's because one of our children were a little sick this morning. And so I think my mind was, oh gosh. Okay. This was aggravating a little bit.
If color is only, if something's color, this cup is white and green. If color is only the reflection of those light waves off of that thing, then if something is completely dark or black, like say a room is completely black, does the cup lose its color?
Yes.
And the answer is yes.
I'll tell you why it's an aggravating question is because my brain cannot wrap around like, no, that's a white cup. So in the dark, it's a white cup.
It is. The example I used is, hey, on Earth, I weigh so many pounds. I won't share it here. But in space, my matter doesn't change, but I don't weigh anything because the absence of gravity. So same thing. Yeah. Anyways, so it was a very, it was not relationship building conversation. No. It was not fruitful, but that was Jack's question. He asked me in the car the other day, and then he brought it up at breakfast, and it's a great place to bring it up.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool to get to hear everyone's opinion about it. You know, those of us that are indignant that color does not lose its color in sheer darkness, but
another mealtime conversation when we drew the world maps. Out of memory at lunch. Hey, where is this? Hey, let's draw a world map out of memory on a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about your creativity, and I was thinking of a specific family in my head that they're all adults. Dad works, sons work, mom doesn't work, and dad and sons work a lot, like all the time. And they're not 8 to 5 jobs. They are blue collar, manual labor type jobs. And so I was thinking about your get creative. Like, okay, what if the dinner table doesn't work for somebody? What if it's just family's too big or everybody's going too many different directions? Get creative, right? Yeah. A family meal doesn't have to be at home at a table. But even if you were to pick up something and grab everybody in the family, drive by their house, load them in the car, and we're going to a park. Or, hey, I'll pick up these 2 people, and then we're going over here to this house, but we're going to sit down. I'm bringing food. I've grabbed pizzas, whatever it is. It's intentionally creating time together.
Right. I like that. I like the creativity. I know of a couple who was dating long distance.
Okay.
For date nights, they would go and pick up the same restaurant, bring it back to their home or apartment, and then FaceTime each other while they're eating at the the same food. And so
that's a lot of fun.
You can use technology in those times that you cannot be together. I think that's cool. One thing I was thinking of is how to make meals more enjoyable.
Okay.
When you're cooking, you can kind of feel isolated in the kitchen as far as like if you're the primary cook in the home. Invite your husband and kids or wife and kids into that situation, whether they're prepping the meal with you, cooking with you, hanging out in the kitchen. Have a fun time in there doing that. And for cleanup, I mean, it can be a family affair. It doesn't have to be one person is on all jobs. Like get in as much time together as you can.
It's great. It's a great idea. And thinking through that and picturing our family do that, you had such a great idea last year when we had Thanksgiving in July.
Oh, yeah.
It was Gina's, she just had a great idea, and I can't remember why you did it.
We finished reading a novel.
That's what it was.
In July, and they had this huge Thanksgiving feast.
That's what it was.
And it was like to commemorate, we finished this fantastic book.
That's what it was. So maybe it was 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago. But it was, hey, let's have a Thanksgiving meal in July. And the whole thing was, let's create the best environment for each and every person in our home.
Right.
What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? Right. What would you like to have? And you just get crazy intentional. And it was a memory that we'll have forever. Yeah. And photos of eating Thanksgiving and a turkey and dressing and sweet potatoes and all of it in the middle of July.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. I think that's something that the kids will always remember.
I think so too. And us and me and you.
Yeah. One of our annual days, we'll have an annual family cooking day.
Yep.
And we all create a menu, and usually it's stuff that we've never made before. And we get very, what is the word? Eager or, what's the word?
Experimental.
And so that's one of my favorite days of the year is we're all in the kitchen together, making different stuff, getting just to have that time together. And we find new great recipes through that. And I'll jot down, okay, we made this in 2023 on Family Cooking Day, and it stays in our cookbook. And even this last summer, there was, I think, 14 weeks of the summer or something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take a 14-week challenge. We're going to do a new recipe per week, because I felt like I was getting in the rut of like, it's like Groundhog Day. I'm making the same things week by week by week. And so each of us took a week, and then we'd rotate. Okay, once we got through the 4 of us, it would start over, pick a brand new recipe we had never made. And then we would prepare it, eat it, and then I would keep notes in my phone section of like, okay,
we'd rank it on stars.
We'd rank it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you could get, was it a 5-star? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then we would say, okay, Dad gives this recipe a 5-star, and Sawyer a 3-star, and Jack a 3-star, and Mom, whatever. And so, but at the end of it, we came away with some incredible new recipes.
Recipes are good.
To add some variety. And it was just fun.
But the more important part was fun.
Yeah. It was
intentional
fun.
Meals, because we had to eat those together.
Right. Right. And that was good. And speaking of menu, I'm talking from like just my perspective, because I meal plan for the week and I'm looking at the schedule.
You're also Italian.
I'm also Italian. So I want
food is your love language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be stuffed, like have seconds, have thirds. Yeah. So just inviting the family into that. Hey, what sounds good to you this week? Getting the kiddos ideas, or, like sometimes you eat the same things. You're like, okay, whatever we have this week, I don't want it to be salmon or whatever that is. But take a look at that, your family's calendar for the week. And if you notice, okay, we're out 3 nights this week, we're at church and 2 practices. Okay, these are our non-negotiable days of the week. We are for sure home these other 4 nights. Or, hey, let's make sure we're having breakfast or family lunch day.
That's right. You talked about looking at your schedule ahead of time. In one of my men's groups a couple of weeks ago, it was, there were a couple seasons that were kicking off and they had kids playing sports. And so they found themselves for 2, 3, or 4 nights a week, like, oh man, practice went long. And so now we're having to just pick up something on the way home, and then we're going to bed late and all the stuff. And so my challenge to them in the group was, hey, you know your schedule. You know practice is coming.
Yeah.
Be intentional about either having dinner early or saving and having dinner late, or whatever it is. Be intentional about the meal times, the meal prep, and the follow through, because not only will you have connection, you'll feel a whole lot better than just picking up junk food every night on the way home.
Right. Obviously, God is a component of mealtime. So when you pray, you can pray together at meals, but even pray before meals. Like if you're prepping, God, help us to connect during that time. Lord, if there's something that we need to talk about, quicken our minds that we talk about that. Just invite him into there. You want his presence there. You want his peace and leading out. But meals are definitely important.
It is one of God's family values.
Yeah.
If you look at his family over time, meals are important.
Yep, that's right.
All right. So if I hear you, meals are important. They seem to be important to God as an opportunity for connection, belonging, relationship, beliefs, values, and to tell stories, to hear the stories of everybody, their days, their lives, their weeks. It's a very informal pulse check for the family. So whether you do meals intentionally now, we encourage you, be a family on purpose that does family meals. It doesn't have to be dinner. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Choose one, carve out the time, invite your family, and make it a priority, because, as we learned from Gina and her statistics, the growth is incredible. The benefits far outweigh the challenges. Be bold. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. If you've never done it before, lead out and be a family on purpose. We'll see you next time.